All right, the minute I sat down today, I heard the opening. And it reminded me that in one of these readings not too long ago, we were told there was going to be an opening from April 20th to April 30th. So if you're not watching this in April, in real time, this is April. If you're watching this at a later date, it will be the 20th to the 30th of that month for you, I believe, because these readings are meant to be timeless. But for this group that's watching it in real time in April 2025, the opening is between April 20th and 30th. So that's what they want to talk about. Let's hear what they have to say. All right, let's see what they have to say. This is the secret language of darkness, and this is the secret language of light. Interesting, they want to talk about anger and overthinking. Okay, they want me to put, I believe this goes up here and this goes here. And so, interesting. So it says here, redirect your focus to change the narrative. So this is what they want you to do during this opening. They want you to redirect your focus to change the narrative. And you will be restoring boundaries, reclaiming balance when we address this anger, okay? There's something about, obviously we can't deny that things have happened to us that have made us angry. So this opening is about restoring boundaries, reclaiming balance, and redirecting your focus to the narrative, to stop being angry and overthinking, actually, is how I'm reading this now. Okay, let's see what they want to say with the Secret Language of Light deck. We have variance. We have 3. Do we want 3? These two have come out 3 times in a row now, I think. So I'm going to put them over here. This is Ask Your Soul and Soul Writing. This is just to link it back to the this I think is to tell us that, there's a link to the previous videos. So I'm going to today let you watch the previous videos to see what those things are about. I'm not going to read about those, but they're just showing us. These are all, it's a progression, these videos. Okay. And, just reminding you to do this soul writing and to ask your soul, okay? Whatever it is that you need to ask, whatever questions you have, ask your soul and write. Your soul will answer you in writing, I'm hearing, okay? Do we want to get another one of these cards to read today? Not yet. Okay. So I'm just going to put that here, and I'm going to put these right here where you can see them as well. Okay, so we're going to read about anger to start with. Okay. Before we do that, they've asked me to read the numbers. So we have 396 and 637. They want me to read those first. So 396. Here it is. Oop, where'd it go? You are being encouraged to go within before you move forward. Remember who you are. That's why these came out. Ask your soul any of the questions. Go within and ask your soul any of the questions you have, and let your soul speak to you through writing, okay? Write down the answers. Write down the questions, write down the answers. And this is to remember who you are. And they want you to do this before you move forward, before this opening, okay? Which is in a few days now. So that's what they're suggesting. And then we have 637. Know that your intentions and manifestation prayers are being noted and answered in the perfect time-space sequence for your soul and the highest good of the world. Your angels are encouraging you to trust and be patient. And I saw 444 as I was reading that. And for me, 444 definitely means that loved ones, past loved ones are around. And in the book here, it says, your guardian angels want you to know that they are with you. Your prayers are being heard loud and clear. Have faith. Okay, so that's coming through very strongly. And then we're going to read the other 444 in this book, which is, you are surrounded by 100,000 angels. Miracles are happening before your eyes. Okay, so, yeah. All right. I'm going to read anger now. About anger. What does the book have to say about anger? Loudly defiant, simperingly silent, petulantly petty. Anger can manifest in our bodies, minds, and hearts in many ways, so much that the bearer may not recognize when their reactions, motivations, and feelings are rising from anger. A situation may be causing you frustration right now. Tune into your reactions and consider what they are telling you. Your sense of security and fairness may have been shaken, and it is okay to be angry. However, your reactions shape your world, so moving your anger out of the shadows can lead to expansion. Anger can reveal lifelong patterns that limit your growth. It may be easy to blame others for our anger, but in doing so, our own needs remain unexplored and disregarded. Waiting for someone or something out of your control to change so that you can stop being angry is futile. Your anger is your business, so ask it what it wants. Ask your soul, ask your anger what it wants. From there, you can determine a course of action. Whatever it is fueled by, you can choose to recognize or deny anger. Fighting it often causes it to push back, and you can become more frustrated. Acknowledge and listen to your anger and watch it transform into acceptance or action. Choose to make anger part of your empowerment process. Okay. There's something interesting here that's hasn't been with the other cards, so I'm going to read it. So it talks about a message, okay, from anger. And the message from anger that it has in here is, welcome, brave one. I am here to help you solve a problem. Get to know how I feel, so you can recognize me early before I feel the need to take over. I can be activated by stress or danger. In mild bursts, I can alert and protect you from perceived or real threats. However, when you don't acknowledge me, or you cannot find a way to feel safe, I can start to overshadow other emotions. When I remain ignored and unaddressed, I will flow from your mind and into your body. You may feel your heart pounding, your shoulders tighten, and your jaw clench. You may feel resentful, irritable, bitter, or jealous, or want to lash out. When this happens, sit and talk with me. Remember, I am here to help. All right, so the message is very clear. To sit, ask your soul, ask your anger what it is that it wants to tell you. Write it down. That can help, okay? Now we're going to read the overthinking. Because we want to change this narrative before the opening. That's coming. Okay, redirect your focus to change the narrative. You have picked up a breadcrumb and mistaken it for a loaf of bread. The information you have is not the whole path. However, it will lead to more crumbs that will eventually form a clearer picture. Focusing on the breadcrumb and turning it over and over in your mind will elevate stress, diminish creativity, and cloud judgment. Looking at an isolated detail can lead to the twisting of words, thoughts, or narratives to invent desired outcomes. Our brains are hardwired to detect patterns that might satisfy the mind but are at odds with the heart. Merge your thoughts and feelings to create soul wisdom, also known as intuition. You will then recognize overthinking by the way you feel and can choose to redirect your focus and change the narrative. When you allow your mind to see beyond the crumbs to the nurturing whole, the energy will settle, the clear vision will appear. Okay. All right, and then we want to read that variance card. The differing perceptions of ego and soul. Today you may not feel like yourself. You and your soul are looking at the same thing, but seeing it differently. Your emotions and reactions are a combination of your thoughts and your soul's thoughts. And when they don't align, you feel wobbly. Variance is a way of explaining the wobble. When you have the same perspective as your soul, things feel right. They may seem satisfactory and easy. No limiting beliefs or patterns are triggered, but there is a feeling that all is well. Your soul will never join you in judgment, blame, or hurt, because it is not the truth of you. It is not the perspective of love. How you feel reveals how aligned you are with your soul. If you are experiencing something that doesn't feel quite right, take a breath and come back to your center. You will begin to feel better, inspired to navigate your inner radar, and ready to receive your soul's transmissions. Ask your soul, soul writing. Okay, so all these cards go together very, very clearly. Something that has created anger in you needs to be cleared before this opening. Okay, and this is a guide, as this reading is a guide on how to clear that. Okay, now I can turn this card over. Okay, soul song. Yes, because that's where we want to get to be singing our soul song. Beautiful. Okay, look, soul writing, ask your soul, soul song. Like, it's just amazing. And I opened it right to this page. Tune into the soundtrack of life. Your soul emits a beautiful song. Think of it as a pulsating light moving in rhythm with the universe. Your song travels through light and is the background music of your life. Even if you can't hear your song with your physical ears, know it exists. We know animals hear sounds we can't. Your song is always resonating through the universe along with the music of the spheres and the sound of the universe made when it was born, the greatest song of all, Om. You can tune into it through your heart and your throat. Be willing to live your life from your highest, most aligned, and most loving perspective. The next song or piece of music that moves your inner world will help you to tune into your soul song. Or you can go out into nature. The music of nature will balance and detoxify. Align with the sounds of the earth and you will find the steps to take next. Okay? So all of this is guidance on how to get you ready for this opening that's to help you attune to this soul song, I hear. There's an opportunity in those 10 days to really get in alignment with your soul and that soul song, your rhythm. I actually know someone, like it's a cousin, a first cousin that I grew up with. So it's not like I know someone that knows someone that knows someone. So I'm just clarifying that. When I say I know someone, I know this person very well. And this person was not spiritual, was not religious, was not any of those things. This person had a medical event and was in a coma for, I think, 9 or 10 days. I can't remember how long, but they were in a coma for quite some time. And it was induced because they were dying. They were dead. They were gone. I mean, their vitals were not indicative of life, sustainable life. So they were on life support and they were gone. And when they came back and I spoke with them, they said, not right away, they had a lot to process when they came back, but when I was talking to them at one point, they said, we all have a rhythm. Everything in the universe is a rhythm. We all have a unique rhythm. And they don't watch this kind of stuff. They don't explore this kind of stuff. They don't study this kind of stuff. They don't go to church. They're not into any of this. But that's what they learned while they were somewhere else. Their consciousness was somewhere else while their body was resting and recovering. And that's one of the things that they said when they came back that they understood in that space was that we all have a rhythm. This soul song is so important, okay? Okay, here we go. Getting some of these cards now. I keep thinking that I should change to some other cards because these are only 33 cards and we keep But there seems to be new things coming out with these cards every time I use them, so we're going to keep using them. And I haven't been guided to change the decks yet. Maybe it's because of this opening that we're leading up to. Maybe the decks will change after that opening. I don't know. I'm enjoying these decks, don't get me wrong. But I'm always curious as what's going on? Why am I doing what I'm doing? You know? Okay, what do you want me to do? You want me to cut them? Okay. All right. And let's see. Letter. It's the writing. It's being reinforced, okay? This group, I'm telling you, you need to write. You need to write, okay? Cross. This is the Christ consciousness for me. This is what that brings in. So that's all I'm just going to say. That's all I'm going to say about that. And that's love and forgiveness, right? And then tree. This is the tree of life. This is like, you know, and this is where we say we put our roots deep and our branches high, right? It's like expanding in both directions into the earth and into the sky so that we can, you know, be very grounded, but also very connected. So, and that's how they want me to do it right now. I don't know why. So this is a big opening coming. I don't understand anything about it. Don't ask me. Okay. I'm just channeling what I am hearing. You know, there might be an astrological event happening. I don't know. Maybe you know. And I do keep meaning to look that up. But they do want me to look at something in the book for the cross especially. Okay, so for the cross, let's look. There's a clue in the book. Okay, the affirmation is, I am ready to practice new beliefs that strengthen and build me up. I know I am a child of the divine. Okay, that's the first thing they're bringing me to. Okay, now they're saying this. The cross always indicates that someone is currently going through a fateful phase full of sorrow and burdens. So if you've been going through a fateful phase full of sorrow and burdens, maybe you've been doing that your entire life, right? And this is what's bringing up this anger and what's caused this anger. Of course it would. This is definitely your reading, okay? What else do you want me to read about this? Okay, but they want to say, so this fateful phase full of sorrow and burdens is so that you can lead a happier life afterwards. So this opening, this transition, I feel like it's a portal of some sort, these 10 days that are coming up, and it's just so happens that, you know, it's Easter, right? That's why I believe the Christ consciousness is part of that, which is about forgiveness, right? And to, you know, you can forgive, but you restore boundaries and reclaim balance and redirect and change the narrative, but forgiveness is important and all of that, right? And that's the Christ consciousness. It's forgiveness, right? Being forgiven for all. You know, the whole story of Easter is that Christ died on the cross to bring forgiveness for all sins, all, you know, whatever you want to call it, sorrow, to bring an end to all of that, right? And I believe Easter Sunday is the 20th, so it's Good Friday coming up tomorrow, and then there'll be the Saturday, Sunday, which I think is the 20th, and then Easter Monday is the 21st this year. So there's something huge around this, okay? Around this year. All right. What else do they want to say? They want me to look at the tree now. Something from the tree they want me to see in the book. Okay. For someone, the forest is calling you. Okay. For someone, the forest is calling you. But the affirmation in here is, I allow myself to take the time I need to heal. I am calm, strong, and centered. Okay, so take those 10 days from the 20th to the 30th. Take that time, and as much time as you need. But try to get to the forest if you can. Try to get to trees if you can. If you can't, meditate using the image of a tree, okay? It also talks about your physical health. And anger affects our physical health. Okay, so there's healing on the spiritual, emotional level that they're talking about here, but also on the physical level. This is going to bring some healing on the physical level because anger affects our physical health. It's really, it really impacts it. So that's what they're drawing my attention to. Now they want me to look in the book for the letter. This writing is so important for this group, and I'm hearing this too. I've been resisting writing for a long time. I used to write all the time. I've been resisting writing for a long time. And so I'm listening, I'm paying attention, especially during those 10 days from the 20th to the 30th. I feel like it's an opportunity. So the writing says, I allow myself to speak my truth. I acknowledge my worth and stand by myself because I know my voice matters. Okay? And then what else do you want me to see in here? It's about communication. It's about communication. So, and I'm hearing communion, actually. Communion with yourself and your soul. Communication with yourself and your soul. Might be about communication with others as well, but the main message is communication with yourself and your soul, and communion with yourself and your soul is important at this time. Okay? Especially from the 20th to the 30th of this month. That is the opening for you. Okay, whatever month you're in. If this is in real time, you're watching this in real time, it's this month, it's April 2025, and it is happening around Easter. If you're watching this another time, it's this month that you're in, and it's the 20th to the 30th of that month. There's an opening for you. Okay. And it's a time to, it's a transition. So on the 20th, the 19th, 20th, I'm hearing, on the 19th, 20th, is a time to let go of all the sorrow and burden that you've been experiencing that this cross is indicating. Let go. So this writing leading up to it, okay, so in the next few days, if you want to write to lead up to it, to ask your soul what you're still angry about, what you're overthinking, what is still weighing on you, those burdens, the sorrows, write them all down, okay, get it out. That's what I'm seeing. This is like, get it all out before this transition period that comes. It's like a crossroads. On the 20th, there's a period, a 10-day period, where you can transition from the old to the new consciousness. And then you're going to be able to grow like this tree and expand like this tree in both directions. Okay? The writing is part of the release, okay, of the old. The 10 days is the opening of the new consciousness. And it is a Christ consciousness, whether you're a religious person or a Christian or, spiritual person, doesn't matter. The Christ consciousness is about forgiveness and love, right? About everything being forgiven in love and new beginnings. That's the spring, that's the Easter, that's the resurrection, right? This new beginning. And it's to live this abundant life with the wisdom and the roots and the branches growing in both directions like a tree, like a strong, solid tree, knowing your wisdom, knowing your worth, knowing your strength and your everlastingness is how it's coming, Okay. They're drawing my attention to the 365. So I'm going to read that 365. 365 days in a year. That's interesting. I don't know why the 365 prompted that thought. It says, you have an opportunity for increased abundance at this time. Your angels are encouraging you to reconnect with your divine worth. I can't make this up. Wasn't I just saying stuff like that? I don't know, but I think I was. Okay? I think this marks a new year for you. A new 365 days. you know, from April 20th or 30th, I guess, because that's the end of the transition, the opening, to the next year, there's an opportunity for increased abundance. Okay, your angels are encouraging you to reconnect with your divine worth. All right, so write down, ask your soul, what am I still holding on to? What boundaries do I need to restore? What balance do I need to reclaim? What narrative do I need to redirect? And, what focus do I need to redirect and change the narrative of, because you might be focused on these things that made you angry, on these burdens and sorrows from the past. They want you to write that stuff down, to ask your soul for guidance, ask your soul any questions around whatever has led up to this moment, and let your soul guide you, let your soul answer you in this writing that you do, so that you can open up to singing this soul song that you're meant to sing going forward. Okay, it's the opening. That's what I have for you today. I hope it helps, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Bye-bye for now.